Well, hello, internet friends near and far. Welcome to another episode of Parks and Conversation. And this is a podcast where we watch an episode of Parks and Rec, and then we talk about it. And my name is Jason, and I'm joined all the way across town by the power of the internet by my friend Jeremy. Say hello, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It is good. Mostly. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sitting here in my podcast sweater, waiting to get this episode going.
Yeah, I was wearing my podcast blazer, and putting on my recording fedora.
The recorder.
The recorder. That's perfect. I'm gonna make a note to myself. Patented.
Non-negotiable.
Yeah, and so but it's a nice cozy day. It's as we're recording this in the Pacific Northwest, we are in a winter wonderland in late fall. So
yeah,
it's really something. Yeah. So my kids had to go to school today at the regular time, and they were not happy about it. I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, yeah, well, you live next door to the school, so
no excuses.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Are your kids enjoying the snow?
Yes and no. I mean, we got one of those weird like wet snows and then it froze. So it's not fun snow. It's like painful snow when you go to play with it. It's like, oh, who turned all the snow into rocks? So
let's have a rock fight.
It's a rock fight. Yeah. My wife works at a school. And so they had to have indoor recess so the kids wouldn't bludgeon each other with ice projectiles. So it's kind of one of those things where it just makes everything difficult, but it is pretty, we got to find a silver lining in there somewhere.
Right. Yeah. My wife asked me to go to Costco to get some chicken today.
Just odd chicken, like the rotisserie, or
no, she wants frozen chicken.
Okay. You could just put it outside right now and it would freeze.
Yeah. And it's like, I had a big day planned of doing almost nothing.
Dang it.
So, but as much as possible, wherever you are, listener, whenever you are listening to this, whether it is the dead of winter or the life of summer, I hope that you're comfortable. So, and we hope that you have put on your listening slippers and your I can't think of other clothes that sound comfortable.
Ooh, your lounging fingerless gloves. I like fingerless gloves. They're comfy.
Okay.
Especially the ones that are like the mittens, like the flap that comes over the top when you're. All right, let's do this.
The problem with the flap over the top, though, is like if it's snowing like today and those are the only gloves you have.
No, that's a bad call.
It's a bad call, but if it's the only gloves you have, right? Maybe you left the house not knowing it was going to snow.
Right, you forgot to look outside.
Yeah. Well, sometimes snow sneaks up on you in this region. And, like
what was that?
Yeah, like the Spanish Inquisition in Monty Python sketches. And
I left my thumb screws at home.
And like if you are having to brush off the windshield or something with those gloves, and maybe the flap comes off and some snow gets in there in the pocket of where your fingers would normally go, and you don't know that, and then you put the glove on over your exposed fingertips, and then it's cold and damp. Oh, I hate that.
You might want to rethink your glove wear at that point.
Yeah. I bought gloves on Tuesday that look like they are made for like a dry suit for scuba.
Okay.
They're not like thick. I wanted like
you brought some like
waterproof
gloves.
Yes, neoprene gloves. I wanted waterproof that would do something to just make so I could still use my hands and my digits here and be able to
use your phone.
No, not at all my phone. Like get my keys out of my pockets. Like those kinds of things.
Function as a human.
Yes. And so I found some at Fred Meyer before the snow came. I was like, snow's a coming. I better invest in some gloves before, like all the other dummies, I would find myself at Fred Meyer on Wednesday going, I should buy some gloves and a sled. So.
And if you ever go scuba diving, you'll keep your hands warm now.
Yeah. I generally would only scuba dive with my hands, because I don't like putting my face underwater. So,
you know what we should do?
talk about this.
Talk about Jaden Smith.
Yeah, of course.
Because we haven't in a while.
Yeah.
You and I, if there's one thing that you and I have failed to do recently is catch up on what Jaden Smith's been up to.
I don't think we've ever talked about Jaden Smith in the history of our friendship.
There's no time like the present.
I mean, even when he was in The Karate Kid, I think we didn't bring him up. Can you believe that?
I can't.
Two kids grew up in the 80s.
How did we? Because we knew. We knew.
Knew what?
You know.
I don't.
Jaden Smith, Karate Kid. No. That's just no.
It's
Why?
true.
I know it's true. But
I thought you were saying like you're making this up. Like, no, I'm not making this up.
No, I know. But I think everybody collectively just said, no. Come on, guys. No.
Pass. It was hard enough when it was Ralph Macchio.
It was. We survived it once, and it was the 80s. We forgave a lot, but
yeah, we're just like, no, we're not going to do a reboot of Karate Kid. We're just going to wait for the old people to make more Karate Kid.
That's right. Cobra Kai.
Minus Mr. Miyagi.
Oh.
So
never forget.
Wax on, wax off. All right. Well, this episode that we're going to talk about is season 6, episode 6, and it is the recall election day and outcome. And we have 3 plot lines happening. We have Tom, who is considering an offer to buy out Rent-A-Swag. We have Leslie preparing for and dealing with the fallout of the election. And Anne, who misses Andy. And Chris, who tries to help her not be sad. So, which one do you want to go for first?
Let's go. Let's start. Let's go with April because I thought that was the weakest of the 3.
Yeah, great.
In my opinion, what do you think?
I agree with you.
Okay,
and I'm going to go out on a limb here as the.
Careful, they're frozen
at the beginning
now.
Here. I know they are pretty frozen. I have a tree branch that's hanging over my yard.
Yeah.
You were without power for a long time. So listener,
36 hours.
The fact that we're recording this at all is just the providence and favor of the Lord and the Schmidt-Haas.
Yeah, I feel like we. I mean, basically, it was akin to us crossing a mountain pass in the dead of winter in covered wagons just to get here today. So
yeah,
we didn't have to eat any party members. No one died of dysentery. We did have to get a few extra oxen to survive the night, but it was a tauntaun.
Were you hunting squirrels?
It was a tauntaun situation. No squirrels. No squirrels.
Okay.
Just yeah. Anyway,
I have to digress for a moment.
Oh, wait, what?
Because Twitter is a Mad Max situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
I, like so many others, are like, well, is there something else, somewhere else I could go and find my jokes and stuff, and things that make me laugh, and so I signed up for a Mastodon account, which
had a kid.
Turns out I have a master's degree in server skills now because I don't know what I'm doing on there, but I have a Mastodon account. And so they said, just follow a lot of people and see what happens. So I started following like jokes that started showing up and, people writing little scenes, jokes. And one of them was Pioneer. It was like a sketch, right? So it's like Pioneer. And they say, I'm not feeling well, doctor. It looks like you have dysentery and you're going to die. What is your last wish, Pioneer? That people don't turn this into a video game in about 70 years.
Dang it.
Anyway, so we'll start with April. It's Halloween. And if anybody knows anything about April Ludgate, is she lives for a day to celebrate the dead.
Mm-hmm.
And she loves Halloween. And Chris sees her preparing for this big haunted house that they're going to do at Halloween. And so later, Leslie will point out they should have just called it City Halloween, but whatever. Chris sees that April seems depressed, and he says, I should know. I spent last of most year being treated by Dr. Richard Nygaard for my own emotional problems. And it's been a while since we heard from Chris about Nygaard. And so it's good to have that come back around. And April says, I miss Andy. Every year we would just dress up like demons and egg Larry's house. And Larry is there in the room as she's saying this. And Larry's like, is that... it was actually in the courtyard, and that was you. And Chris is like, please. We're having a private conversation.
Larry, please.
And so he offers to do anything he can to help make Halloween fun for her, starting right now with scary claws that he's
Scary
that he has
monster
on.
claws. And I don't think Wolverine is a monster.
Depends on your perspective. I mean, if you ask Senator Kelly in X-Men movies, comics, and cartoons, Wolverine is a monster.
Yeah, but
So-
who ended up being the monster at the end?
Well, it depends on which thing you're talking about.
Well, at the very end, he was just nothing.
Yeah. So,
Spoilers. Sorry.
yeah, spoilers, everybody. He turns into a water mutant of some sort and gets up on the beach naked and then ruins a sandcastle. So
It's not even a euphemism. It happened.
yeah, I love that movie. That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
So then later on, April is in a hall of mirrors at City Hall. There's a lot of time jumps that we're going to be doing here.
Yeah.
Because hours go by between scenes for April and Chris, days even. And so he jumps into the hall of mirrors and we all see him. And April points out, I see you too. He's trying to scare her. And he leads the charge by saying, I'm scaring you. Which is not an effective way to really scare somebody.
It's a polite way to do it, though.
Right. Yeah. I feel like Chris has mentioned having siblings before. Like he has a brother. And like, doesn't he know? Like, hasn't he learned any of this? Like how to scare a sibling or a friend? I don't know. That's part of what siblings are for.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm getting choked up about it.
Yeah.
And April, it's not helping April. And she's like, you're never going to make me not miss Andy. And he's like, okay, what about this? I'm Burt Macklin, friendly lifeguard. And in my notes, I wrote down, how does Chris not know that Burt Macklin works for the FBI?
Right.
Like, how self-absorbed is Chris Traeger that all the time that he's seen Andy dressed in an FBI jacket, calling himself Burt Macklin, he never once thought to read what the 3 letters on the jacket that say FBI.
That's the weird part, because he's usually really, very thoughtful of people and notices those things. Like he noticed that April was depressed. Like, why wouldn't he notice that Burt Macklin worked for the FBI?
Yeah. So I don't know. This is a problem for me. And I wonder if he's just trying to project because Burt Macklin is in the realm of Andy's imagination, right? Like Willy Wonka.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I wonder if he thinks the game is whatever you want him to be. Burt Macklin is whatever you want him to be. And so that's why for Chris.
Chris chose lifeguard.
Friendly lifeguard. I've never met like a real like mean lifeguard. Usually lifeguards are the most chill people.
Yeah.
I mean, they got this job because they didn't really want to do anything.
Mostly like ambivalent lifeguard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Are you really drowning? No.
The only intense lifeguards are at like
Great Wolf
Lodge and the pool by the hotel at Disneyland that we stayed at one time. That not you, my family. That was doing the line checks, walking around the pool, like
robotically
waving their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like are you saving lives or casting a spell?
I almost feel like in those cases, somebody could be drowning right in front of them and they wouldn't see it because they've done it a billion times that they've just tuned out. They're on autopilot.
Yeah, and they're waiting for their incantation to be ready.
Yep. Or broken, whichever.
Yeah. They're fighting the drowning spell that somebody else cast on the pool. The pool of drowning. Roll for initiative.
I'm in.
All right.
Dang it.
So, this isn't working. And not our conversation.
I rolled a 9.
A natural 9?
A natty 9.
And so April is like, nothing you're doing is working. And this makes Chris very sad. And he tries to leave. He says, I failed you both as a scary monster and a friend. And as he tries to leave, he walks into the mirrors.
and a human who doesn't understand doors.
That
once,
was one of my
not
favorite
once,
gags, though.
but twice.
Yeah, is walking into the mirror. Like, that was just so funny. So, yeah, have you ever gone to a hall of mirrors?
I actually haven't. No.
It's about as fun as it sounds.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be fun. It seems dangerous. Also,
Right.
It seems like it would be pretty easy because of all you'd be able to see where all the grease spots are on the mirrors,
Where people have
where
rammed
people have
their
already
faces
ran
into it.
So,
Yeah, you would think, but no, they're pretty tough. So
it's that one guy's job. Just clean the mirrors after every group
oh my
goes through.
word! And like, would you ever feel like you're done?
No.
Because like, I can't get to those mirrors back there. I keep trying, and you walk into it again.
How much self-reflection would you do like every day? Just
Stop.
Just see.
Boo. Self-reflection. Come on.
I just see the problem from so many angles.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You see all your bad sides.
Anyway.
Yeah. So April's sad.
It
Chris
does
is
make my
sad.
butt look big.
But April comes around and she recognizes that Chris has tried to help her, and comes up to her, or Chris and Anne, as they're, being all cute and cuddling and stuff, being a couple. And April greets them by saying, "You stop." So, and she says, "Look, I know you were lame, but you were trying to help me. So thank you." And Chris, he says, "Thank you. And if you ever want to egg Larry's house, come find me." And then April, surprisingly, says, "You two are cute." And it surprises everyone. And Anne's like, "Where'd that come from?" She's like, "I'm weak. I miss Andy, and it's making me weak." And Chris was so trying to put so much effort in. And if he puts that much effort in to helping me, he'll make your lame life perfect. So, or he's secretly super in love with me. It's probably that.
That's a funny joke, April.
Yeah. Chris is, I think, part of coming to understand his feelings is expressing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, "I'm scaring you." And then, "That's a funny joke, April." Like, those are now him just saying, like, "This is what I'm feeling," instead of bottling that in.
Yeah, Nygaard has
or laughing.
broken down his inner monologue.
Yeah. So, so that's the April Chris story.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a short one.
Just short and sweet, literally.
Yeah, it was about enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could have handled much more of Chris trying to scare or be Halloweeny. And so, yeah.
What a Halloweeny.
I dropped my pen.
Uh-oh. Podcast over.
Yeah. I can't.
That's it.
I can't record if I'm not holding a pen.
Like on those late night shows where they pretend to take notes. It's like, why do you have
exactly
that? Why?
Exactly. I do love the thank you notes on Fallon. I don't know if he still does it. I haven't watched Fallon in a long time because I'm old. But he has, like, the script is on the thank you note, but he's holding a pen.
Right.
And the keyboard player, you've seen this,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, he's waiting for Fallon to actually start writing before he starts playing. I love it. It makes me laugh. That makes me laugh more than the actual jokes on the thank you notes.
There you go.
So, yeah. All right. You want to talk about Tom?
Boy, howdy.
All right. So Tom is meeting with Trevor, the lawyer, and trying to impress Trevor by saying how great business is going. Like the other day, Jaden Smith came in and wanted to quit music acting business and work there. And Tom's like, "No, the world needs you. You have a gift." And then Trevor says, "Look, my client has, in a moment of weakness, experienced something he referred to as sympathy. He has made a final offer for $40,000 for Rent a Swag and all of its contents." And Trevor's like, "I just suggest you take it." And so Tom says, "I got to think about it. I got to go home, put on my thinking PJs, and get back to you." And Trevor's like, "You have 48 hours, and we would also be interested in acquiring your thinking PJs." And Tom, I love Tom. "No matter what happens, you will never acquire my thinking PJs or my YouTube blazer. Non-negotiable." So I love that he has a YouTube blazer.
Yeah. And a line. I mean, there's a certain line that even he won't cross.
We'll see. But the idea of having clothes for your activities, I think, is important. I think it's a productivity hack to be able to say, like, like when I am working from home, I still put shoes on. I shower, I get dressed. I don't just say like I'm working from home, so I'm going to not do anything.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried this?
No. Keep going.
I had a friend who said, I don't know when I have time to, when do I have time to shower? Like he's talking about himself. And I'm like, I don't know, every day. Like, 24 hours. How long are your showers?
I'm not that. Man, how big is your hot water tank?
So, but like, so being able to say like, I am now wearing this outfit, like when I wear my football pads, I'm playing football, right? It's to be able to say like, no, I'm putting on this blazer, and only when I'm wearing this blazer, I'm going to scroll some YouTube videos. That sounds like a productive thing. And then when you take it off, you're like, all right, YouTube's over for me. The challenge, much like the One Ring in Lord of the Rings, is what if you can't take it off?
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say, how long is he? He's probably on that in that jacket all the time.
Right. Yeah.
What would your go-to then? I mean, like if you could dress for your activity, like what activity, like what you write a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would your writing, like what would you don?
Well, I when I'm writing, I prefer to wear a thin hoodie.
Okay. To keep all the thoughts in.
Yeah. And I put the hood up over my head.
Yeah.
And when I'm feeling like a bit of a stump, like I need to really focus and think through, I then tuck the hoodie behind my ears.
like a true psychopath.
I'm not lying.
No, I don't. I don't doubt
do that.
You. Yeah.
And it's a hoodie. I found it. My mom got me a perfect hoodie for Christmas a couple years ago. And my Chewbacca sweatshirt that she made for me.
Yeah.
She also made me a hoodie that is Chewbacca, but it's got like a shimmery like press onto it. And I don't really wear that out because it looks ridiculous. But the hoodie itself is like the perfect weight for writing. So yeah, so I like to wear that. Especially
do you have a writing
in the wintertime? Yeah, a writing hoodie.
Nice.
So because my office gets a little cold. Like even now I started a fire, but I had to close the door and turn the fan off on the fire for recording's sake. So I'm wearing my other Chewbacca hoodie right now for recording.
Have you seen my good Chewbacca hoodie?
So yeah. What about you?
Oh, I didn't have an answer. I don't know. I just wanted to see what you'd say.
All right.
Socks, maybe? Like these are my fancy socks.
I do have socks that I prefer to wear over other socks.
Like not just my normal going out, like, day-to-day socks. This is like, okay, these are my drawing socks. I'm going to put these on and draw.
You draw with your feet?
Well, no, that socks would make it almost impossible. I'm just saying, it's really, my feet are comfortable from the toes up, the foundation. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a question for you now, Jeremy. It's very important.
Okay, I'm ready.
You like fingerless gloves with the little mitten thing?
No, that's the worst. That's terrible.
Would you ever buy toeless socks with the little mitten thing?
No, opposite. I want individual little like toe beanies. Like toe. Right. Yeah.
Let me run it by another covers. Scenario. Another scenario. Okay. You've got the individual toe covers, right?
Yeah.
And then, but you still, maybe you want another layer of warmth.
Toe scarves? I'm in.
Yes. No, what I'm saying is like, what if you had a sock then that wrapped all the way around and created like a slipper situation?
What about a sock that each toe was like like they could go just like the oh my gosh, each one was like its own elongated sleeve, like it's longer than the toe, and so you could roll it back, or like to let your toes breathe. You could call it a total neck.
Are you proud of yourself?
Total necks.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
No. Oh man.
Yeah, get on that.
I thought I was onto something.
You're on something. So Yeah. Well, let's talk about what else is going on with Tom. And so Tom is wrestling with all this stuff, and he's laying in Ron's office on the most uncomfortable bench in the whole world to lay down on, and he's drinking hot cocoa, and he doesn't know what to do, and so he's whining in Ron's office, and he's like, Ron, can you put more tiny marshmallows in my hot chockey? And Ron just throws marshmallows at him. And Ron is, if there was something I could do for you, I would. Maybe you should try taking a walk out of my office. And then Donna shows up, and she's super excited because turns out Ron's in Bloosh, and Ron doesn't know what that means. But Tom is stoked because it is this fashion lifestyle magazine, weekly email, whatever, that was started by Annabelle Porter, who used to be the face of the Eagleton phone book. And then
She's come so far.
Yeah. And then moved to Hollywood. Things didn't work out. She came back, and now she's a lifestyle guru. So she's the most famous person that Pawnee probably has living in their area. And so she has chosen Ron Swanson's chair as the must-have item of the season, coming along with red quinoa, wind therapy, and buying an island. So,
wind therapy.
What's that? What is wind therapy?
I don't know.
And how do I start a wind therapy business? And how do I con people into coming to my wind therapy?
Come sit in my room full of fans.
Well, is it fans or just go outside?
Yeah, but if it's not windy, you're going to lose business. So you got to make your own. Well, that could get.
I can make my own wind.
You can make your own wind. Yeah.
I was go outside with fans.
I wasn't going to go that far. Yeah, you could. You could.
Yeah. Wind therapy. I love it. I don't know. The thing is, like, everything that is listed here, like, I feel like that's exactly what Gwyneth Paltrow is doing with was it Goop?
Goop. Yeah. I think wind therapy is one of those occupations that those people on, like, one of those buying, what's the TLC or what's the channel where they go and they buy properties? Like, we're looking. I'm a wind therapist, and my significant other, sharpens bespoke pencils. We've got a budget of $2.5 million. Like, who are these people that like to buy or renovate a house? Like, you do nothing. Where does that money? Are they all? There must be trust fund kids or something. I don't know.
Right. Or,
wind therapy is really that big of a deal. I don't know.
They are drug dealers, and they just make up these careers to be a front. Right. They want to be fancy.
Like, you know what? We're already selling drugs illegally. Let's get on TV.
Yeah. They'll never expect us.
Exactly.
Like, drug dealers wouldn't put their business out on television.
What's your cover story? Oh, I'm a wind therapist.
I'm a turtle herder. Yeah, sometimes turtles, they just go all over the place, and sometimes
yeah,
they don't look that fast, but you got to ride herd on the turtle.
I'm a hamster manicurist.
I do necktie consultations. Oh, really? What does that mean? Well, I just choose neckties for people.
Yeah. Red or blue today?
Oh, man. What about Argyle?
Too soon?
What's my favorite color?
Plaid.
Yes.
Well, you got to buy an island, and that's all we know. Annabelle.
Yeah, that's the only way to know if your goji berry farm is pesticide free. I mean,
exactly.
Everybody knows this.
Everybody knows that. Come
on. So Ron is in this thing, and Donna's celebrating. She's going to get a new leather jacket, and
someone's getting a new leather jacket. I don't want one.
It's like, it's for me.
It's a great day.
They're riding tails. And so, and Tom has been trying to get Rent a Swag into Bloosh for months. And so he's hoping that Ron will be able to get Tom some Bloosh attention. And so Tom follows up with Ron and is like, hey, what are the hot deets on Bloosh? And Ron's response is, start over and speak differently. And so he's like, they wanted me to go on Joan Calamezzo Pawnee today and discuss my chairs with that Porter woman. I said no. And Tom's like, but if you said you would help me, and so this is one way you could help me. And
whiny
so
Tom is the worst.
Yeah, but Ron wants Tom to succeed, for two reasons. One, he's invested money
Right.
or pounds of gold. And two, he is they're friends. And so he wants him to do well. And so Tom
And three,
asks,
if he asks, he helps him, maybe he'll go away.
Right. Yes. And so Tom and Donna have put together some talking points and some cocktail banter. And Ron reads off of the note cards. Annabelle, could I be more jealous of your lowlights right now? I mean, OM squee.
Oh.
Talk about bangs envy.
Oh.
And Donna's like, we got to start over. We got a long way to go. And Ron just regrets everything.
I do. I feel it for him.
And so, in probably the best part of this episode, we go to Pawnee today. And as we're walking through the episode, I have traditionally thought that Pawnee today is a morning show. But this is happening at the same time as the nighttime Halloween stuff at City Hall.
Whenever you need it to happen.
So like today literally is like anytime today.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 24-hour, hey, this is happening.
So she's just living in there.
Sure.
In the studio, just like, all right, I'm ready to record.
You got to be, or she's just on call, it just goes on. It's like a public access situation, right?
Or like any of the YouTube, like crazy people.
Sure.
I got to get out there. I got to let people know about my thoughts about the Wakanda trailer. Who cares?
It's just live streaming that's easier to get to, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, and so Joan is pretty excited. And their guest today is the only person in town who's a bigger deal than I am. That's what she says. And as Annabelle comes out, she says, "It's me. I'm here." And Joan is, she's a journalist and she wants everybody to know this. And so she says, "Can I just say, as a journalist, I feel like we're best friends." And so they're talking about all their stuff. And Annabelle shares some of the things that are trending. Mozambique cashmere is the new cast iron stove.
I love the look that Tom and Don gives you. Yeah, yep, that makes sense. Of course it is. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
And some conflict-free paella recipes. And
conflict there.
I don't know.
I even looked up paella recipes just to see if I could come up with a joke. It didn't matter. It wouldn't have been funny, but there's nothing. It's like, what do we put in it? Chicken or pork? Like, what's the conflict?
I've never had paella.
I haven't either. The biggest thing that I know about it is that it has its own pan, like a paella pan. It's a specific pan. Yeah.
We learned so much today.
And every once in a while, like on Instagram, looking over the shoulder of my wife's Instagram account, there'll be somebody cooking like the world's most giantest paella. Like, yeah. So I don't know.
Is that trending?
It's a thing. It might be trending. Conflict-free paella.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And then also one of the trending things is her favorite fishmonger now makes house calls.
Finally.
So how? I don't know. Isn't that just fish delivery?
It is. Yeah.
At that point, do you want fish delivered? Yesterday,
if
the UPS
fish sticks, maybe.
Okay, if it was frozen, right? But like a fishmonger probably doesn't freeze the fish. He's a monger. He's got some standards.
He's got some monging to do. Anyway, UPS guy. What?
Well, the UPS guy, like delivery to your house, right? Mm-hmm. The UPS guy yesterday was driving around in a Tesla, and it was icy on my hill, and I was trying to help my son because he was going to work. And so he's driving up the hill for the first time in the snow. And so I'm just walking up along with him.
Sure.
Just saying like, "Hey man, you do this. You got this." He took my car, which made me infinitely nervous.
I was like, all right. Yeah.
And so
you're invested now.
The Tesla driver and the UPS guy in the Tesla, he stopped and he's getting out and walking to the houses that have deliveries on my street. And so I'm up at the top of the hill and I'm like, "Hey, any more down the hill? I'm going back down if it will make your life easier as you're driving around in a Tesla on ice." And he's like, "That would be awesome." And like, I don't know if I would trust a fishmonger to make house calls, if they have the work ethic of the UPS guy. Like,
I'm just
go ahead, deliver this for me.
Just giving away food for free. Here you go. Just give it to whoever.
As I'm walking down to Judy's house, I was like, I could totally take this.
Man, it was delivered at that point. He did his job. He delivered it to someone.
He's like, no one has to sign for it. I'm like, okay,
cool, man.
That was just anyway.
Hope Judy has as good taste as I do.
Yeah, I don't know what Judy got, but the box was also almost open already. And I was like, dang it, if they have a ring cam or something, they're going to see me delivering this thing.
Slightly askew.
It's already kind of open. Like, I didn't open it, and I hope Judy doesn't. Anyway, I hope she doesn't have a problem. Anyway,
we started watching The Prestige.
Yeah,
and Nikola Tesla.
I've started watching that movie a couple times.
Spoilers. It ends. And David Bowie is Nikola Tesla. So that was cool.
That is excellent.
Yeah. Anyway. That's all I had to my conversation.
That's great. I appreciate it. Because I mentioned Tesla. So I get it. It's
a really good movie.
That's what I hear. I'll get to it. I'll finish it. First, I have to finish Kong Skull Island and 100 other movies.
Wow.
And I'm only got 20 more minutes. And so Ron, she then points out her chair. It's a deliciously bold chair by local artist Ron Swanson. And Ron's reaction is, did that woman call my chair delicious?
That's the thing.
Yeah. So then cuts back to the show, and Joan says, oh my goodness, we're back with America's greatest leader, Annabelle Porter, and her new favorite artisan, local woodworker, Ron Swanson. And Annabelle talks about discovering the chair, and you can use it for anything. And Ron's like, mostly for sitting. But she's like, no, you can put it as an accent piece in your solarium or a focal point in your yoga tent. Or put it by a table and eat a meal. And Annabelle, like, we don't do meals in my house. No, every 2 hours we eat what I like to call a food tease, like an oat wedge or a seaweed lozenge.
Seaweed lozenge. I lost that one. That is so funny.
Joan, again, is wonderful. Can I just say, and I think this is really important, so I need everyone to shut up. I love your hair. And it's genetic and unattainable. Mm-hmm. So too bad. So the show's going great, and Ron is loving all of his life. And then there's like some after party for celebrating all the end things, and Donna is excited about it. And she's looking at all the swag that there is out there, and there's B13 shots. So you got B12, but B13 is where it's at. Bird bath salts, champagne decanters, everything is so great. And all these people are looking at Ron's chair, and they love it, and they want to buy 12 for their stepdaughter's craft room. And he says, I make 2 a year, so maybe in 6 years.
Hey, and fun fact, the actual artist who makes that chair is Sam Malouf. It's a really, really famous rocking chair, and they go for tens of thousands. They can go for lots and lots of money, lots of monies.
Wow.
Or amounts of gold.
Oh,
anyway.
Well, good.
That's a real thing.
I knew it was a real chair.
Yeah, it existed.
Yeah. So Ron is really out of his whole world here, and then Annabelle comes up to him and is like, "You're going to make a lot of money, and I want to license your chair and put it in every 6-bedroom home in the Midwest." And Ron's like, "Well, no, if they were mass produced, they wouldn't be Swanson chairs. They're handmade." And Annabelle's like, well, now they'll be handmade by thousands of tiny Chinese hands.
Oh, Annabelle's not cool, man.
No. And Ron's like, no, I don't like this at all. And Tom's there, and he's wearing like a weird scarf, and he's trying to get Annabelle's attention. It's like, when you introduce me, tell her I make you appreciate my bold neck choices. And so Ron's like, please speak to each other while I leave. And she won't let him leave, and he hates his life. So then she starts talking to Tom, like cut back. Tom's talking to her about Rent a Swag, and Annabelle is like, it's an interesting idea. Are you doing well? And he's like, we're amazing. We'd be perfect for Bloosh. And she's like, well, I can't really do that now, but maybe next quarter. And he's like, well, next quarter we'll be out of business. Like, I thought you guys were doing well.
Ooh. Got him.
So Ron is like, why don't you take my stuff out and write about Rent a Swag instead? And he's really trying to get out of this whole situation. Then Ron is like, I don't want somebody else to sell my work. And then Annabelle gets up and says, well, that's too bad. This party is over. It no longer is. It was.
It was.
It was. And that's how I'm going to start ending every conversation.
This conversation.
Well, it's good to talk to you about, good recording with you. But it's over. It was.
It was.
This is the way. It just has a very like almost religious sense to it.
Right.
It was. So Tom lost his shot here to get into Bloosh, and he's sad. And so Donna's going to grab some lychee body oil and bounce. And Tom asks for some of those pomegranate face masks too.
Sure.
Which I don't even know. I don't even know what lychee is. I don't know. I feel
you put it
most like Ron in this.
You put it in your in your boba tea.
Oh,
it's lychee flavored.
Okay, if you say so.
All right.
If you say so. So then Tom and Ron are in Ron's office while the Halloween event is happening. And they're drinking whiskey in the office around children at a workplace open to the public.
It's Indiana.
No concerns. And Ron is like, hey, you gave it your best effort. And Ron's like, easy for you to say. People are dying to give you money for your business and you don't even take it. And he's like, well, I value my name. And the only thing that's important is what's on your gravestone, your name. Then Tom points out that his gravestone is going to be a 60-inch touchscreen with a hologram of four me's singing End of the Road by Boys to Men, but point taken. So now that got Tom thinking like, all right, how do I move forward with this? And so he goes back to Trevor and says, I will sell you Rent a Swag, but on my terms. I want $40,000 for inventory of the website and everything else in the store, but I keep the name Rent a Swag. Because Ron said, like, your name is what matters. And so he's holding on to the name. And Trevor's like, actually, the name is important. My client likes it. It's better than Tommy's Closet.
It's true.
He needs the name. And so then Tom negotiates for another $20,000 more and 5% of the client's business. And Trevor's like, I think we have a deal. And Tom's like, Ron said there's nothing more valuable than my name, but he's not a businessman. I am. And now I have seed money for my next venture. I sold out.
Yeah, well, and I think the thing is like he valued his name. So I mean, yeah, there's a price tag, and you could, but he knew he was failing. He got as much as he could out of the sinking ship and moved on. It was great. It was a smart business choice. And that 5% residual money, guys, if you can get it, take it.
Yeah. It was a good move.
Except
but it was
the
still
lotto.
funny.
If you win the lottery, take the lump sum. Don't take the residual. That's what they want you to do. Anyway.
All right. Thank you.
Life goals.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And also, if you win the lotto, let me know. I don't want to ask you for any money directly. I just want you to know that you can tell me about it.
Good job.
Yeah, we go out to dinner. Like, I'm not reaching for my wallet too fast.
Let me pay.
You won the lotto. I'm just a guy. So, yeah. All right. So now the Leslie plot line. And
they do some stuff, and then
this one is not as funny as one would hope. But they are getting ready for this Halloween thing, and Jerry's coming in late, and Leslie's upset. Like, what's your excuse? He's like, I was voting for you. He says lots of people wearing Leslie note buttons, and Leslie doesn't want to jinx it. She's like, nope, the polls close at 8. Let's focus on what we can control. And so in the next 24 hours, they're going to transform City Hall. It's going to be great. And so they're working on all of that. And so they're going to have a haunted house. And also it is Kevin Pollak's birthday, something that she's going to focus on instead of the recall. So the come out to the courtyard and talking to folks. And she's like, Jerry, all you had to do was 2 triangles and a tooth. Nobody wants Gengurch family themed jack-o'-lanterns. And turn around, and Jerry has carved his family in all of the jack-o'-lanterns.
They're really nice, though.
They are nice. I don't even know how people do stuff like that. They just scrape it.
Yeah,
right?
I think stencils are involved, and then there's some scraping.
Yeah,
there's YouTube videos. Yeah, I know.
Wait, there's YouTube videos?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a whole thing
about everything.
Yeah, but I would just do. Yeah, she's right. 2 triangles and what did she say? 2 triangles and a what?
And a tooth.
And a tooth. Yeah.
So a mouth with a tooth.
Perfect.
Yeah. So but here we also find out that Ben and Anne are going to be working as her emotional support task force with whatever news comes out. And so they have back rubs, YouTube videos of turtles and birds becoming friends, a poster announcing the new Lilith Fair concert.
I love that.
Made up for them.
It's totally fake.
But it's fake, but it'll buy an hour.
Right.
And they have a secret hand signal in case we think she needs help. And they hold their hand up to their chest. And Ben looks at the camera like, it's loosely based on the Klingon greeting salute. And Anne is like, if I'd known that, I would not have agreed to it.
I think what makes Ben so great in so many of these situations is just his reaction to that. Because as soon as she says that, his reaction is like, mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know
the
that
reason I didn't tell you.
Exactly. But he's like, gotcha. It's too late now.
Yeah. So, so it's 8:00 and they're going to wait for the results to pour in. And in what may be the second funniest part is it cuts to the news for Perd Hapley. They're all prepared for a long night, right?
Right.
Like our election season here now in America, like you vote on a Tuesday, you find out in January.
Right.
And so Perd Hapley comes on, the other respected journalist. Too close to call, a real nail biter, anybody's game. These are 3 phrases you won't hear tonight, as Leslie Knope has been voted out of office. What was expected to be a close race has actually not been a close race. Pawnee voters have decisively removed Leslie Knope from the city council. And so, yeah, I love him. I love Perd so much. Too close to call, a nail biter, anybody's game.
Nope.
These are 3 phrases you will not hear tonight. So, So Leslie then is no longer going to be a city councilor. And wow. Jerry comes in super happy because he got pizza for everybody. And Chris looks at him and says, Larry, everyone is miserable and you are only making it worse. And I would say, no, pizza makes everything better. Mm-hmm. I love pizza.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think it's perfect time for pizza.
Yeah, when I'm sad, what do I want? Pizza. When I'm happy, what do I want? Pizza. When I'm just waiting for my tires to be changed at Costco, what do I want? Pizza.
It's a good chant. What do we want? Pizza.
Pizza. When do we want it? Always.
You're in the dentist chair, man. You can't. I don't care.
Just in between.
On one side, you're only working on one side at a time.
It won't be hot or cold. It'll just be room temperature, like Jeremy likes it.
I was just going to say, coming over to the dark side.
No, I am not. I like hot or cold, like Jesus in the water of Laodicea. So Leslie's pretty sad. Ben and Anne have been calling her, and Anne says, this is the next day. I left her like an outgoing messages, her sobbing and burping and crazy laughing, which I don't even know the last time I changed my outgoing message to anything. Like, I don't know. People don't call me and leave messages that much anymore. And does it say, this is Jason, leave a message? I have no idea.
Oh, mine's default. It's just, I know it just says like, you've reached the number. That's it.
This phone is no longer accepting voicemails.
No,
is that it?
No. Yeah, it's full.
I had a young person.
Can you default to full? Like, that'd be awesome. Like, it's like, no, it's full. We're not accepting any voicemails right at this time.
I had a young person who left a message at the church for me. And like somebody who's not a part of our church, but in the community was looking for some help and left their phone number. And I call the number and that's ringing, it goes to voicemail. And I get this phone is no longer accepting voicemails. The box is full. And it's one of those moments as a person of a certain age where I was like, this generation doesn't understand. Like this, how can you just delete it? Even if you don't listen to it, just delete it.
Wow. I feel attacked. I have every email. I have every voice message.
Oh.
All of them.
Oh.
So why? It's just extra. It's just upkeep, man. Just let it go. Let it build. It's all going to happen anyway. You're just trying to tame. It's so freeing, not caring. Just don't care. It's okay. It's their problem. You're like you're actively drinking. You're all right? I know.
I can't.
You can.
I feel like
It's
I
like
should come in like Leslie Knope wearing a Garfield shirt that says "I hate Mondays" and wanting to go sleep on a bench outside.
exactly. It's a them problem, man. It's not a you.
All right.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not my problem, but like,
how's
this person ever gonna? This person's never gonna call me back.
No, I'm saying your emails, like all of those things. That's just why it's unlimited space. You have unlimited space. Like I don't even know how people have. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Well, that's why we're different. So Leslie's pretty sad. She comes in and is eating a paunch burger and
what if you need that? What if you need that voicemail? What if you need that like from 5 years ago? You need to go back and check something.
Yeah, I've never needed that.
Or an email from 12 years ago. Like, did I really say that?
Well, you can throw all that in the archive.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need it in your inbox.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's just extra work. Anyway, yeah. We'll go. It's circular.
All right. So the haunted house event is happening, and Leslie's display is a filing room, essentially. And she's sitting in there, and the kids come in, and she says, "Welcome to the den of horrors." And she's like, "Where's the stuff? Scary stuff is invisible. Broken dreams, disappointment, achieving your greatest goal, and having it fall apart, and knowing that you'll never climb any higher." Can we have some candy? I'm going to give you something sweeter than candy, Ryan. The truth.
The truth.
It's very possible that some of you have already peaked. It's all down here from here, turkeys. So they take Leslie out. And I do like that Leslie and Ben are on theme. And their theme is Princess Bride. And she's Princess Honeycup. And he's Dread Pirate Roberts. Wesley. And so...
And one of the kids is the big who comes in dressed as the mutant rat.
Mutant rat?
Yeah, what are they called? The rat or the animal. There's some
the rodent of unusual size.
Yeah, one of the kids is dressed as one.
ROUSs? I don't think they exist.
I don't think they. Yeah,
I haven't watched that movie in a long time. It's a good movie. My kids don't care about it, and so it's one of those things that's like, you didn't grow up in youth group at the right time.
Because that was the only movie you could watch.
That and Buttercream Gang.
What?
What? Oh, yes.
I'm looking it up right now. We don't have time for this. Well, I'm going to pin it. I'll save it later.
I'll keep talking.
Okay, you keep talking.
So Ben and Leslie, then Ben takes Leslie to a bar, and he's trying to make her feel better, and she points out that maybe he also peaked by becoming mayor at 18 and then got impeached. And he's telling the story, and he's like, "Oh man, I peaked. I now work at budget management for cities, and I work for a candy charity." And so they both start drinking, and then
which always leads to good choices.
Always, as they continue to drink, they continue to get more and more wasted, and they confess their love to one another. And like Leslie says, "This is real," and Ben's like, "I know. You're my husband. You're my wife. You married me in front of people. I did. I was there." So they are getting drunk. So they have a desire to make this declaration. And so they go to get tattoos at the pawn shop.
Sure.
And they're like, "Hello, sir. We are sober. We would like to get tattoos on our bodies because we love each other." And Herman is like, "Tattoos? This is a pawn shop. But yeah, I can do that." And he immediately starts breaking pens to get ink to make these tattoos. And so they go back to the chair, and Leslie asks him, "Can I ask you a question? Are we the cutest couple you've ever seen?" And he just says, Nope. He's like, "Do you want the long needle or short? Doesn't matter. Can't find the short needle. Long needle it is."
I love Herman. He's the best.
And so she has this whole idea about Eleanor Roosevelt, who then has a classic tattoo of Pat Benatar on her arm. It's all very subtle. And no, scratch all that. Just write Ben. And Ben's like, "Do you have anything to numb the pain?" And Herman is like, "Just take a scoop out of the pill bucket."
As Ben's playing with a chainsaw. So great. The whole scene was fantastic.
And then Herman then goes to Leslie. He's like, "All right, you wanted Mouth Queen?"
And Ben's reaction to the camera as he's looking at the pill bucket, like, "Whoa, can you believe this, guys?" Just take a handful.
And just in time, Anne shows up and is like, whoa, get her out of here. None of you guys want any of this. And
what other buckets do you think Herman has? He's got like the rusty, this is where we keep the rusty nails and rings. The pills. Like what? It's
He's got a drawer of guns.
It's a box of teeth and dentures.
He's got a lot, man. Pawn shops are
The best.
pawn shops are, like I've said before, and I think on this podcast, a sad garage sale. So it's just
I
like,
think this is important. Everybody, shut up.
Yeah. So Anne shows up and is like, hey, we're getting out of here. I'm trying to save you from being on Dateline. So they leave, and
he's like, see ya. What does Ben say? See ya, Broheisen. And then he bumps into Anne. He's like, hey, watch it. I don't know why. It's so. I love when Ben just lets go. He just lets go. He's great.
Yeah. And then Anne confronts him. What's the first rule of Emotional Support Task Force? Don't let her get a tattoo.
No tattoos.
What happened? I couldn't help it. She's so cute when she's coming up with destructive ideas. So he kicks her out. He kicks Ben out. She kicks Ben out. However I said it.
You got it.
And so then Anne is like, listen.
And Leslie's like, yeah, we did it. All right. See you later. You did nothing. And she's trying to leave. It's so good.
Yeah. So Anne is like, listen, Leslie, you were down in the polls. Like, they were well organized. They had more money. You knew this was a possibility. And Leslie just didn't want to accept it. And so now she's dealing with not accepting the possibility. And so Anne has Leslie read a note that she wrote, saying, basically, they had the election. I lost. I was voted out of office. And in 30 days, I'll no longer be Pawnee City Councilor. And so, yeah, Leslie needed to actually say those words out loud so that she could start to move on.
That's not fun.
No, but it's necessary.
Yeah.
And Leslie realizes this and calls Anne a poetic, noble land mermaid, which is just a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben comes in. He's like, I flushed my car keys down the toilet while holding a pumpkin.
That's okay.
And Leslie's just like, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. So that is that. So Leslie has gives her concession speech, basically saying, I've got 30 more days. I'm going to work as hard as I can for you in this great city. And then Ben and Anne have a talking head talking about how, being Leslie's emotional support task force is an easy job. She's never down for that long. And Leslie comes in with a whole hurricane of things that she's trying to do. Rezoning thing. She also wants to paint the deck. So she's got some color samples. And then she also carved their faces into jack-o'-lanterns. And she did all this in like a half hour, it seems.
Sure.
And so, and they are happy, and that's the end. This podcast no longer is. It was. Just kidding. I'm not going to end it there. No.
You could.
Any trivia or anything that you discovered in your internet sleuthing?
No. That's where I got. Actually, I didn't see the kid with. I'm sorry. I'm still caught up on the Butterhill gang, or what is it? What are they called? Buttercream
gang. You found it?
I did. It's a 5.7 on IMDb.
That's high.
That's No, I don't know what to say about this. I don't recognize any of the people.
Right. It was a focus on the family feature.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah, it was something that my parents had on VHS.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We didn't have cable, and we watched it a lot. And the line that sticks out to the most to me is the boys are about to get into some kind of fight, and one guy says, "I'm going to punch your face in," and the other guy says, "Is that a threat?" And then the previous guy says, "No, it's a promise." And I thought that was the most punk rock thing to say. I was like, "Yeah."
Dude, if you have to threaten someone, it's not. Yeah. The director. I just wanted to see what else, whether it's Cinema
Buttercream Gang,
Cinema Marvels, that the director Bruce Nybar, what he was involved in, and right after the Buttercream Gang, he directed Friendships Field. I don't know why the Mysteries of Egypt, The Ghost of Dickens Past.
That one could be any number of things.
Yeah, I think these are all like shorts. The Ghost of Dickens Past. Anyway, it looks like they're very somebody petitioned. They hired him to make these. Yeah,
that's usually how jobs work.
No, anyway.
I mean, it's terrible. It's all bad. There's nothing good about that whole thing. I think there's some like treasure that they're trying to find. It's been a long time since I watched it. The only thing that has stuck with me is no, it's a promise. So,
wow. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so no trivia on this episode.
Oh, no, because I ruined my IMDb search here. Hold on.
Yeah. Now you're going to get all kinds of weird ads.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, you like the buttercream gang? How about the...
How do you feel about Dairy Gold sour cream?
Philadelphia cream cheese experiment. What?
Oh, man. I love cream cheese.
I love your vamping. It buys me so much time to get back on.
Yeah, I try to do all kinds of things to keep talking. I bought a bagel.
Uh-huh.
There's this Jewish style deli.
I'm not even searching anymore. I'm just waiting to listen to your story.
in Northgate, there's this Jewish style deli, Zilberstein's, I think is how you pronounce it. There's a lot of consonants, not a lot of vowels in the name. And they have great bagels. And I took Joss there two times now, actually. And their mustard is delicious. But Joss said it tastes like soap. Oh, and weird. I had her move out that afternoon.
Like, is it a hot spicy? Is it just a regular?
It's like a deli mustard. It's got like the seeds in it, stone ground. Yeah. And it's so good. It was so good.
I'm in.
But she was not for it. But
it's not for everyone.
No, but that means more mustard for me. So
just rationing mustard. Yeah. Okay.
Except any kind of mustard in a packet. No thanks.
Yeah, we've been over this, man. You gotta mash it up first before so you don't get the mustard pea first. Or the ketchup, like
ketchup water
dribbles.
Ugh.
All right, we should. No, I don't have any trivia.
All right, then we should stop.
I just see how long you go for.
No longer is. It was.
Oh wait, hold on. What about next week?
Yeah, next week we'll have another one.
No, I know. But what's the next episode?
I don't know. You're the one on IMDb right now. I don't even.
Well, tune in. It's a mystery.
Open. Episode 7.
Tune in next week.
Let me see if I can open the script and just guess based on the first line.
Okay.
We're gonna have some fun tonight.
People, I want to know how many people we should have. Like if we had any kind of Twitter or anything. I just want to know, like, if we said salmonella. Just tweet. Anybody who tweeted out salmonella right now would win a T-shirt. That's not a real thing. I'm just saying. Did you make it this far? That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. If somebody tweets out salmonella, just the word. Let's see if Elon Musk will shadow ban you.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know how it goes.
In next week's episode, Chris tries to get parenting advice from Ron as they make a crib together.
Oh yeah, so, I remember that one.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the main plot.
Well, Ron is the main plot always, but he approached a tree, murdered it, and left it to cure in my wood shop. So, yeah. And the book title that Chris has, a parenting book called "Are You Going to Crawl My Way" by Lenny Kravitz.
Fluoride is the name of the episode.
Oh yeah, Sparkle Water
7.7 Sparkle Water. Yeah, they're going to end up at the Colt Stadium, whatever, Lucas Oil Field.
They're going to start there.
They're going to start there, but we got to get through Fluoride because after that, Cones of Dunshire. So 2 weeks from now.
It's all about the cones.
It's all about the cones. All right, man.
All right. Cool, dude. Well, you have a great afternoon. Everybody, thanks for listening. If you did this, email us.
Yeah, salmonella.
Bye.
Bye.